You are not broken. Week 7 already. Life is already moving. And kind of a side title would be Trusting the Intelligence that is already operating. But I want to simplify it to life is already moving. So, as always, I want to go over the arc that got us here to this week. And before we fully immerse ourselves into where we're headed, I want you to just kind of sit in the journey. Sit in the journey for a second. And realize what the intention has been from the get-go. Because something very intentional has been happening in every week. And you may not have always realized it, especially in the beginning, but it was always happening. There was always something running in the background. And weeks 1 and 2 was where we learned to notice instead of fix. Noticing instead of fixing. And most of us have lived our entire lives believing that something was wrong with us in some form or fashion, right? So we tried to fix ourselves. We always were working to improve ourselves. We were always working to correct ourselves and control ourselves. But the very first step of this journey was different. We stopped trying to fix and began to notice. And that language, even for me, was a little, is this enough? After the first week, even though I've been doing this, when I started teaching it, I was like, okay, is this enough? And as I just let the process be, I realized it's more than enough, right? And as we stopped trying to fix and strive and work, we began to notice sensations. We began to notice reactions. We were noticing our thoughts. And something very important began to happen the moment we did that. What happened? Our nervous system started to feel safer. Period. Whether we even recognize it or not, it just naturally is the progression. Because noticing, it's like it lets off the pressure valve. It removes the pressure. So then in the next 2 weeks, weeks 3 and 4, we really went after the body learns what you trust. The body is taking cues from us the whole time. And once we stopped attacking ourselves internally, the body began learning something new. And the body learns from repeated experience, right? And that is neuroplasticity. What we experience usually has to do with what we've been repeating. And so when the experience becomes, I can pause, I can notice, I don't have to fight this moment, then the body begins to trust. That's a big deal. Not intellectually, physiologically. We were created with this innate ability, y'all. Peace that passes all understanding was never just supposed to be an anointed moment. It was never just this little gift. No, if we did everything right. Peace that surpasses everything else is actually the physiological response as we learn to move, to flow, right? And so that trust began to soften the bracing that many of us had carried for decades. And then week 5, we talked about identity begins to loosen. And where we realized what I thought was my identity was actually repeated patterns. And I'm actually not stuck maybe where I thought I was. Because when the nervous system softens, something surprising begins to happen. The identities that we carried, I'm anxious, or I'm broken, or I worry, or I'm too much, or I get overwhelmed easy, I'm not enough, right? Or I'm not worthy of attention. Those, what felt like identity, those began to loosen. Not because we fought them, not because we resisted them, but because we just began seeing them. And we started realizing, I notice anxiety instead of I am anxiety. That's a big shift. I notice overwhelm instead of I am overwhelmed. Right? I notice fear instead of I'm so fearful. That little bit of space that we created there changes everything. And so the bridge from week 6 showed us something really important, that creativity appears when the pressure drops. And once the identity loosens, something beautiful starts appearing. We saw ideas show up unexpectedly. We saw new possibilities. We saw new responses, fresh perspectives. Clarity showed up. We saw solutions show up. Emotional shifts happened naturally. Even when they were subtle, we began to notice them. And this is where we see, life starts responding differently, and I didn't have to force it. Game changer. Game changer. So why did these new possibilities show up? Because the brain is no longer locked into survival mode. It's a big deal. When the pressure drops, the mind becomes creative instead of defensive. Life begins opening up. Last week we talked a lot about space. And we began noticing creativity, insight, and change happening without force, where then a natural question comes, right? Well, where did this come from? Where did this come from? And the answer is something in life is already moving. And up until now, the work has been about softening internal pressure. And week 7 kind of shifts slightly outward. Instead of asking, how do I fix myself? We begin noticing, how is life already supporting me? And this change is what the entire orientation of our nervous system, this changes the entire thing. It moves us from control to participation. Kind of let that settle for a second. It moves me out of control what's happening to I can participate in what's happening. So here we are at week 7. This is my nice little intro. Life is already moving. This week isn't about learning something new. It's about recognizing something that has been happening all along. Life has always been moving. Your body has always been healing. Your awareness is growing. Your insight is appearing. Creativity is emerging. But when we were braced and fighting ourselves, we didn't see it. And we were trained to look for the fireworks, instead of going, could I weigh in and find the win that might seem so small, but it's actually not. And as the space and creativity emerged, we realized, wow, when we were braced and fighting ourselves, we couldn't really recognize what was happening. It's like going on a first date and the guy's like, let's go to the movies. I'm like, no, it's a horrible idea. I don't want to go to the movie. I actually want to talk to you, because there's no way when there's all that noise and chaos, you can get to know somebody. Well, we're dating ourselves, y'all. We're getting to know us. And now that the nervous system is quieter, is calmer, perception is wider. And we begin realizing something beautiful. life might actually be moving with me. So the core message for this week is this. When we stop fighting life, something remarkable begins to happen. Life reorganizes itself naturally. Not because we forced it, not because we performed correctly, but because life already contains its own intelligence. Let that land. The nervous system begins to notice that life already contains its own intelligence. Most of us have lived as if life only works when we push it, manage it, control it, fix ourselves enough to deserve it. When we manage everything correctly, right? But something interesting begins to happen when the body stops fighting, stops bracing. We stop bracing against life. We start noticing that life was already moving and that life itself has intelligence. Y'all, life is not something you have to force into working. Life already contains movement and intelligence. Your role is no longer to control everything. Your role is to participate with what is already unfolding. So here's some natural examples of this. Everyday intelligence of life. Your heart beats without your effort. Your body heals cuts. Your nervous system recalibrates when given safety. That's what we've been working on, right? Ideas appear during a walk or a shower for me. Solutions arrive in the shower. I've written many a song in the shower, for sure. Insight shows up in the middle of conversations. I've had revelation come on this stuff while we're all talking in the middle of our Connect meetings. None of these come from forcing. They come from what? Allowing space. So instead of, now I need to apply everything correctly because we're coming to the end, we begin living from, I can notice and trust what is already moving. And that is profound. That is a profound shift. So here's the nervous system piece of this. Again, I'm throwing stuff onto the wall. Some of it's going to stick right away and you're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. And some of it you're going to get to listen to again and be like, okay, what does this look like for me? So now let's talk about the nervous system piece of it. When the body is braced, perception narrows. The brain is focused on the threat, the correction, the prediction. And where does prediction come from? Most of our stories and most of what we believe about tomorrow is fully based on what happened yesterday. It is my history. And so how many times has it felt like who I am, our identities were predicted by our history and how we actually responded last time the same thing happened? Well, when we don't want that thing to happen again, what happens? Control. I need to control this. I need to control this. But when the body softens, perception expands, our nervous system starts recognizing patterns like, oh, this feels like an opportunity, a creative impulse, emotional information, relational cues, intuitive insights. People often call this intuition. But it's simply the nervous system operating with more available bandwidth. So here's a really powerful realization. The moment you become aware of this, something relaxes even deeper inside of us. We realize that life is not something I have to wrestle into submission. We start to feel life might actually be moving with me. And that realization creates trust. And trust is the doorway to deeper embodiment. So as we notice what's going on, we even notice that new reflexes are appearing. We notice new knee-jerk reactions. Old reflexes of brace, judge, fix, control, defend, hide. New reflexes are notice, soften, allow, respond, go through it, trust. These new reflexes allow life's intelligence to become visible. So here's an experiential practice, yeah? So this week, I want you to notice moments when life moves without force. I just want you to notice. Some examples are, notice when a conversation brings clarity. Notice when a body calms after a pause. Notice a creative idea emerging. I had some today. Notice compassion appearing naturally. And this is where I know I have told you, you don't have to journal, you don't have to write anything down, but I think now would be a great time to just simply start writing down or keep a list in your phone. Life moved here. I had a really cool creative idea come today. Life moved here. I'm going to tell you guys a really quick story of something that I did this week, and I kind of did it just because I felt like I needed to see what it would feel like to feel fully. So I think I told you guys about my friend, and we've been friends. I mean, we were roommates since 1996. So we're talking 30 years, of friendship, and like we're partly responsible of she and her husband being married, and they walked through a lot of stuff. Anyways, we're talking a dear family, closer than anything friendship. Part of the reason I love living here in Nashville was because we would get together, we would talk, we could be talking for 6 hours straight, and I'm not exaggerating, and be like, how is it this time? Like, what just happened? I still to this day, I did nothing wrong. We did not have not one argument, not one crossword, but for whatever reason, she has cut me out. She's like ditched me, kicked me to the curb. And I kept texting going, what the heck, what's going on? And nothing, crickets, right? And I was like, shoot, what the heck? And I just kept going, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And I realized I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because two things appeared this week. So I was there when her son was born, and I've been with him since he was a baby, and now he's a senior in high school. And I have to live vicariously through my friends who have teenagers because I got no kids. And so I would go to his soccer games and his football games, and I loved it, and I love him. He's such a cutie, and he would come and sit with us. And so I would always try to strike up a conversation as much as you can with a teenage boy. And I just really adore him. And she sends me all the pictures of prom and the little girls that he's kind of dating. And so I get all the stories, right? And I found out that he was going to be performing in High School Musical with his school. And he's never been in drama before. His football season got cut short because nearly the whole team got injured. And so they couldn't even play all the games. So he was in High School Musical. So I just make the choice. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go for me. And when I got there, I texted them, the husband and wife together. I said, hey, y'all, I just want you to know that Dad and I came to see Jackson, and just don't want you to be surprised. And I'm so excited for him. And y'all, crickets, they still to this day have not responded. And I saw them sitting, and I had tickets and kind of in the back. And I mean, nothing, y'all, nothing. And we watched the show, and it was great. And I was like, kind of got teary watching Jackson because he was so cute and it was so good. And I remembered when I was in theater, and all of it was really beautiful. And I get in the car, and we have a little over an hour drive. And I'm like, I start crying. I'm like, Dad, I'm sad. And I let myself fully feel it. I let the emotions, if I got mad at her, I was like, what the heck is wrong with this woman that she would throw 30 years of her friendship away? Why would she do that? And I realized, and I think I told you guys this last week, it's okay. It's her prerogative. Like, I cannot control this part of the journey of theirs or mine. All I can do is go, I'm going to do what I do, and what I do is love. And I was thinking about this beautiful container of safety and unconditional love that we've created here with You're Not Broken. And the fact is this is somebody who has given herself the okay to hate people. And I've heard her say it over and over again. I effing hate this person. I hate this person. I hate this person. I mean, and she would want you to hate them too, just because you're friends. I can't do that. I would never really say anything, but I have no hate in me. Like, my worst enemy, I don't have any worst enemies. Like, anybody could come to my door, they're going to get loved on so hard. Even her. And what I realized was this was not, I was able to let it go. This was not about me. This was about relinquishing control, seeing them and really letting them all go and be like, okay, I did what I need to do. We're done now. It's all good. And every time I think about her, I just like, oh, I love you. I just send massive love to you right now. May your day be filled with love and compassion. And so that way, what could have in the past tortured me with why this, why that, what happened? Oh my God, I don't even know, became now a place of intercession and compassion. Y'all, that's what this is. Life is moving. It's already moving around us. What are we going to try to block it? Are we going to try to stop it? Or are we going to just go with it? So as you see where life moves, simply write down, life moved here. Life moved for me this week in huge ways. And I want to address something else, because somebody had said the first couple weeks kind of felt quiet, even kind of lonely. And so I want to normalize something that many of you may have felt or even feel sometimes. When identity loosens and the internal war quiets, there can be a period that feels very quiet, even lonely, spacious, unfamiliar. Even with this relationship, I let myself mourn the fact that it was one of my favorite things about moving back here, was so that we could be close and have a relationship, and I could have a relationship with our kid. But guess what? I mourned it. I let it go, and it felt kind of quiet and lonely. But I look around and I look at the friends that I have, but I look at who I am, and my identity is I'm never alone, period. So when the noise of constant self-correction quiets down, the nervous system sometimes experiences a new kind of stillness. That stillness isn't emptiness, it's space. And space is where life begins moving again. I just wanted to address that, because there are going to be times in life where you're like, what am I doing again? What? I feel like I'm the only one doing this. Everybody else is freaking out, and they're definitely abandoning their emotions. They're trying to cover it up. They're turning the TV up louder so they don't have to hear their thoughts, right? But when you choose to turn the noise down, and you recognize the space, and then the solutions begin to come, and creativity begins to come, and you realize life has been moving all along. It never stopped. Never stopped. So what happens is when the body stops fighting life, we begin noticing that something else has been showing up naturally. And that is patience, curiosity, kindness towards ourselves and towards others. And just notice, I didn't start by asking you to love yourself in week 1. I talked about love a little bit, but y'all know me. I'm like the love coach. That's how people know me. But even with that, I've recognized a different language, because if you don't know what love is, and I just come in full guard, like, you need to love yourself no matter what, you're going to be like, okay, right? Like, and so notice that we didn't do that. I just started asking you to notice. And as the war inside of you softened, something beautiful started appearing. And what you have to realize is love and compassion have been doing the heavy lifting for you. And let me just bring y'all, I know I don't have to say this to you, but I just want you to know I'm not separating any of this from God. God is love and compassion. You are the embodiment of love and compassion because you're one with God. We talked about last week. God has been with us through all of it. And God has never had fear or lack or worry or loneliness or sadness or overwhelm or stress. Never. Yet, the compassion and love of God to meet us right where we are is big. So we'll talk more about that next week. But I want to just give the analogy of the river. So for most of our lives, we've been trying to push the river of life. We've been paddling harder, steering harder. We try to force the water to move where we think it should go. But what happens when you stop fighting the current? You begin to notice something surprising. The river was already moving. I may have told this analogy, but I'm going to say it again. My sweet mama loved to sit in a river with her feet in the water and her on a rock. And she would always talk about how fascinating it was that she would see a little area that was kind of pooling because some kid or some adults had built a little bitty dam, and how people naturally want to dam up a river. They want to kind of change its course. We want to control it. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we realize that, as she would just sit there and take in the flow, have her toes in the water, feel the flow of what was already happening, then she wasn't working or striving to try to control it or create a new flow. She was just in it, and she saw things that nobody else saw, because her paintings would be like of this group of roots that was kind of hidden under an overhang, and there wasn't any light, and she would happen to capture it the second the sun hit those roots, and all of a sudden this beautiful, what would look like to somebody else a tangled mess, became an absolute work of art because she stopped fighting the current. She just noticed the surprise. That's what we're doing, y'all. The river has been going all along, and the work we've done in these weeks hasn't been about creating a new river. It has been about stopping the fight with the current. And once that fight stops, you begin to move with life instead of against it. It's brilliant. And I was listening to my guy. I have this precious Indian guy that I listen to regularly, Panache. And he said something today. He's like, I feel like y'all are gaslighting me. I'm like, what is he talking about? He's like, y'all just simply don't want to believe how amazing you are. You don't want to believe how unlimited you are. And you're trying to tell me your story, and you're trying to gaslight me into believing that you're not as awesome as you are, and I'm not going to have it anymore. And he was being facetious, but it was so cute. And I was like, isn't it true? How many times do we go, yeah, but this river does not feel good. It just does not feel good. I've not been in a good part of the river. And this is the key for our journey. You don't have to manufacture life. You don't have to manufacture a good story. Life is already happening. And the more the body learns to soften and trust, the more clearly you begin to see that intelligence has been moving all along. It's been moving. It's been flowing. It's been right there. Sherry is not with us tonight, but she had sent me something. I'm just going to read you what she said because this was so good. She had watched a brilliant podcast, but she said, when you fall out of a whitewater raft, you cross your arms over your chest and point your feet downward until you get out of the water, to a safe place to get out of the water. Because if you try to fight the current or get back into the raft, you will drown. You may get bumps and bruises on the way down, but you will be alive. And the more and more I go after what we're doing, y'all, and realize I didn't anticipate that my journey in this river would be, I'm not even going to say losing, releasing a longtime family friend, but all I know is the energy attached to what I'm doing has no hatred in it whatsoever. Is it possible that it did that lack of hatred and only love left no space for hatred to even be around anymore? I don't know. I don't have to judge it. But when I will just look at what is, that's why I say, could you say, I am perfect for this moment? What if you did it every moment? What would happen if we just accepted what is? This is my truth right now. This is my reality. I can wish it was different all day long. But what am I trying to do? I'm trying to dam up the river. I'm trying to create a pool here. What if I just... So why this week is so important. This prevents us from falling back into self-improvement mode. We're not doing that. Just say right now, I'm not doing that, Erin. I'm not doing that. Next year, when I'm sitting here, we're having a get-together. We're having a reunion in the Canary Islands. Yes, please. We're having a reunion. We're talking about this, and we're talking about how we were the beginning of a movement and how it was tempting sometimes to fall back into self-improvement mode, but we didn't. Because we left the now I need to apply everything correctly mode. So hear me. You've not missed any steps. I told you from the beginning you can't screw this up. You can't. You don't need to apply everything correctly. Go re-listen to encourage yourself, but don't do it because you think, oh my God, did I do all the steps? Am I doing it right? No, please just let that go. Everything you need to do will come naturally to you as we have this mindset shift into flow. Because now we're living from, I can notice and trust what is already moving. This is a profound shift. In the beginning of this journey, many of us were just exhausted. I talked to you guys, not just physically, but internally. We're just tired, man. We had been trying to push a little forward here. We had been trying to fix ourselves. We tried to control our outcomes. We tried to fix all the problems. We tried to force change. But what we've been doing in these few weeks is something so different. We stopped trying to push the river. We've just been noticing. And noticing softened the fight again. Trust allowed even our body, our nervous system, to relax. Big deal. Identity began loosening. And I realized, oh, that wasn't my identity. That was just a repeated pattern. It's okay. It's okay. And what happened? Creativity started appearing. And it will continue and continue. And when the fight stopped, the surprise came. We realized the river was already moving. The flow was already happening. Life is already happening. What happens when I flow with it? Not as a victim, not as somebody who's wrong. What if I flow with life as I'm perfect for this moment? The river's moving and I'm in it. I'm flowing. I'm in the flow. The flow isn't something that I will achieve when I reach the 9th week of You Are Not Broken. No. You're already right this minute perfect for this moment. So one more time. Life is not something you have to manufacture. Life is already happening. Right? And when the body stops fighting itself, we begin to notice what's incredible. Life might actually be moving with us. Because remember, we didn't have to create the river. We're not fighting the river. The river is carrying you. That's a mindset, and I hope you feel that. It's a shift that makes your body go, oh, I don't know about you, but I love me a lazy river. I'm just saying. I love me a lazy river. Oh my gosh. I can do that for hours, just floating in an inner tube. Here's a cute story. I lived in Glen Rose, Texas for a while. And there's this river, and it's actually really cool. Part of it has a rock bottom, huge slabs, and that's where they've found dinosaur tracks with human tracks inside of it. It's very, very cool. But you go, and it's very country, right? You go with everybody else who's in their cut-off jean shorts and in their beer t-shirts with coolers full of beer. We were Christians, so we didn't do that, okay? But I would take groups from Bible school, and they would drop us off 3 or 4 hours, I think, upriver, and we would just get on our tube and float. And you would have your cooler of food and snacks and drinks in a separate inner tube, and you'd float all the way down to the end. And how you knew the end is out in the middle of the river, all these big old trucks would come pull out in the middle of the river and be on top of these rocks. And so all these, we call them rednecks there, would be grilling out in the river. Their grill is sitting in the water, and then it's just a party. And I just thought about that a lot this week as I was thinking about how that just was so fun and so effortless and so beautiful. And that is where we are, y'all. The river is carrying us. And along this beautiful ride, we beautiful, incredible, unlimited, beyond measure humans living this supernatural life. You are the super in this natural. Ooh. You are. As we continue to just put our eyes in a place of, I can just notice what's happening. Because what will we see? We'll see the beauty of God all around us, because God is nothing but beauty. And when we can choose to see God in every single thing, we will see beauty everywhere. I don't see what so many people on Facebook see. Oh, it's such a horrible time, and there's just so much gross this and that and blah, blah. I don't feed myself with that. I'm very rarely on social media. People are like, well, did you disappear? No, I'm not feeding on that stuff anymore. So I just want to say to you as we kind of wrap up this, because I want to give us time to talk. Can you just, in this moment, let's just close our eyes. Let's use our imagination. Let's use our imagination right now and just see a river. We've probably all been in a river at some point, or pool if you need, whatever. Just see yourself in this river and just feel the gentle flow, the gentle movement, and notice how your body just relaxes into that inner tube. Just, I don't have to control this. There's no snakes in my river. My river's clean. It's good. Nothing can get me. It just feels so good to be alive in this day and age where stuff comes around the bend and I don't have to send my drone up to see what's around the bend to make sure I'm okay because I'm bracing to no, I go with the river. Sometimes it feels like rapids, sometimes it's real slow, but I'm perfect for this moment. So in that place, could you just hear yourself say, from your toes to the longest piece of your hair, I am perfect for this moment. I am perfect for this flow. Life is already moving. Intelligence has been moving with me, around me, this whole time. I did not have to create it. I am in God. He is in me. We are one. There's not been a stagnant moment. Sometimes the moment feels still and peaceful, never stagnant. Now just take a breath. And as usual, just notice the chair you're sitting in or the couch you're on, or just notice how you're being supported right now. If your feet are on the ground, just feel it. I am supported. I'm safe. I'm perfect for this moment. And then, would you just let your body know you are safe to heal? Just tell your body, you're safe to heal. You're safe to be strong. You're safe to thrive. You are safe to create. You are beautiful. Just tell yourself, you're beautiful. I'm beautiful. Aaron always calls me a beautiful human, and by golly, I am just that. I am a beautiful human right now. Okay, that's it. That's it, y'all. The river has already been moving. Woo! That good? All right, that's it. That's it. I'm going to wind it up right here. I'll open it up if anybody wants to add anything or ask any questions or say anything. We'll get together on Thursday and do our connect. But if anybody wants to say anything now, you're more than welcome to. But no pressure. I'm hoping that you can feel the tangible peace.
I'm sorry I missed part of the message tonight because I was late.
Well,
Um,
you didn't miss much, babe. You didn't miss much because we were talking beforehand. So I think you got a lot of it.
okay, but yeah, I had a lot going on today, so just came back from the dermatologist.
Oh, okay.
Had to do a lot of I'm perfect for this moment on the way home.
Okay, yes. Well, hey, let's join with you for that right now. Let's just all take a moment and let's just put our love and our compassion on Marilyn. I know that going to the because I've taken my dad to the dermatologist quite a few times and
Yeah,
he's had all kinds of things done, so I know what that can be like.
yeah, I've had 4 spots
Okay.
that are being sent in for biopsy, so
Okay. All right. Well, right now, let's all just cocoon your whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Let's just cocoon Marilyn in love. And specifically those spots. Could we just take the scandal off of those spots? Now I know they're saying this may or not be something, and maybe they are being judged, but you're not, right?
you,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now we just speak, first of all, peace, Marilyn. We just speak such peace and compassion over you and over your body. And I just say to your skin, you're perfect for this moment.
hmm
You are enough. And we just cocoon every place where there was even talk, because you probably heard things that are a little bit different than the way we've been talking about you. So even any trauma that happened, just being there and being in a place where you're being inspected, we just speak to even the trauma of that moment and of that experience right now. And even in that place, we say, you're enough, Marilyn.
yeah.
And we say, I love you. I love your body. Your body is perfect for healing.
Thank you, Lord.
Your body is perfect for divine health.
Thank you, Jesus.
Your body is beautifully and wonderfully made. You're created in the image of God. And so now, just you guys, let's all join together and let's step into gratitude. Now we just say thank you.
Thank you.
We just say thank you for this moment.
Thank you.
Thank you for this river of healing, this river of peace. Thank you that life has been happening, no matter even what's happened today. Life is moving, and you're perfect for it. And we just, thank you, God. Just thank your body right now. Thank your body for serving you so beautifully. Thank you. I thank my body all the time. I'm like a gratitude factory over here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
family. Good job. Way to cover and you didn't miss a lot, but it'll be good to go back and listen and but you're perfectly on time. You got exactly what you needed, babe.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Lorraine, I see you unmuted.
Yeah. Um, yeah, thanks, Erin. This is good.
You're welcome.
This is where I've been like trying to stay in that river thing. And I can't say I'm saying it, but I'm seeing what I'm thinking and I'm going, yeah, that's not wor- I don't need to think that. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
It, yeah.
Good. And
And
that's
I-
what
and I s-
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I see too like like you're saying we get to that place, it's like things open up when you're not in that stress of trying to get things can open up. So I kind of feel like my life has been so under stress for so long. Not that, it is what it is, not bad or whatever, but that like I don't feel like a whole human being. But
Yeah.
as I'm noticing the thoughts and I'm going, no, that like I don't like what did you say earlier? Something about um judging ourselves or um you know, things that cause stress to us
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we're constantly, yeah. Like when stop doing that, it's like it does open up to like I'm I really am fine and everything is okay. And so I'm looking forward to having more moments of like I had that day when I went to after I saw myself in videos after the Valentine's party and was just like, well, I'm perfect for that moment. And I really felt it and meant it. And like I don't need to change. It was perfect for that. And then that it just opened up and that thought came up of like dancing and joy. Like it wasn't even like do this exercise, but it was just like, that's something that I enjoy doing and, makes me happy. And plus, make me, more physically fit. I'd feel better. So,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing when we
but
realize
it,
any
but it was,
go ahead.
yeah, but it wasn't like a stress, like you're saying, like you feel like I want to get stronger, but it's not this, oh, I need to lose weight and I need to do this and I need to, and I have to. No, it's just like, no, I want to get stronger. I'm going to do some exercises.
Yeah.
And something that you had for 4 years hanging out. I don't know what it was, but oh no, I'm going to open this box and now it's time. So
Yeah, it's and the analogy of the river was so brilliant to me. It's like when we stop fighting the current, what is fighting the current? Judgment, discipline, self attack, right? When we stop fighting the current, once the fight stops, you just begin to move with life instead of against it. And I'll tell you one of the things too, in regards to food. We've talked about this, people who take GLP-1s or whatever, they talk about food noise going away. Interested in that, how it's even just they don't even want to eat very much. Anyways, I'm not judging any of that. But interestingly enough, as I've continued just to let my body be and love me and just move with life instead of against it, this whole week I found myself eating less, not finishing things that I normally would have. And I'm not even judging that good or bad, but I just find it interesting. There's a different attachment that's beginning to happen. And I didn't do anything to change. I didn't start taking anything, nothing. I'm just moving with life more and more. Isn't that cool?
yeah, it is cool. And you're right. I like life does like life is happening and it does happen and we don't have to make it happen. We
No.
just have to be aware and and let God and He brings things to us.
Yes.
There's
Beautiful.
there's an older woman at church that I talk to sometimes when I'm like, stressing out about something, and she uses this river thing. She says, you're on a ride with Jesus. You're in a river. Just, put your hands and your feet in and enjoy the ride. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Somewhere along the way, we decided that we needed to wrestle life into submission. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that. And We tried and then we failed and we were like, why am I so bad at this? Because you were never supposed to do that in the first place.
Right.
Right? It's
Yeah.
simple, but yet when we realize it's those simple things that have kept us striving and working all along. And the second we do that, what are we doing, y'all? We're teaching our nervous system all of these subtle moves. We're teaching our nervous system a new way. What did I say at the very beginning? New knee-jerk reactions. What used to be normal for you, what used to be normal for me if somebody was mad at me, I mean, oh my God, in high school, I mean, I would lose it. Like I would do whatever it took. I was such a people pleaser and so devastated if anybody was ever mad at me for something or if I did something wrong. I mean, even if I did something wrong as a kid, I would self-punish myself. My parents didn't even have to hardly punish me because I self-punished. Where do you learn how to do that? I don't know, but a lot of it carried into my adulting. So this was such a beautiful move that somebody out of the blue that I would have never in a million years thought would have been a split, and me to be able to just be like, great, it's okay. I bless you. I love you. Oh, every time I think about them, love, and I love me in the process. And this is where the intelligence of everyday life is happening all around us, and I don't have to control anybody else's journey. That's freedom. My gosh, it's freedom.
That's freedom.
Freedom.
So, so on my river, as Eileen has said, encouraged me, like I met this man. I met him a few times and then we went on a few dates and I'm like, um, but I realized this is not the man for me to marry. So that's when I talked to Eileen. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And she was just like, Jesus brought you on this river to, you're meeting this man, you're doing things with him, just you, because I'm worried about hurting his heart, my heart getting hurt. And she was like, you know, just float on the river. I was like, oh yeah, it's true. He did bring us together. Oh, he's not the man for me to marry. Then I'm like, oh, I have to have this conversation with him. But I never felt comfortable having it. And I never had it. And it's already a year later, more than a year later. And it's like, hey, sometimes we do stuff together, you know. We're friends, but we haven't called what we are or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and and to me, I was like, I kept thinking, oh, well, this is going to end because we're not made to be married to each other. But then God would bring us back together and do something else. So it's like, oh, well, it's been a blessing.
Exactly.
It's been a blessing, and I didn't have to say, oh, you're not the man for me to be married to.
Please don't.
That conversation didn't have to happen.
Yeah. And realizing that the beauty of companionship. I mean, I ended, y'all, when I started this with you guys, I ended a 3-year relationship. And we're still great friends. We still text every day. And I'm able to appreciate, while he's not my forever, he's a forever friend. He's forever family. He's not the love of my life. We're not even boyfriend, girlfriend. We're friends. And guess what? I had a great companion for 3 years. And I really wanted that. It was a real blessing to me to have a sweet companion during then. And guess what? Is that enough? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Now, if I'm ever doing anything that dishonors him or that leads him on, but no, I've been 100% clear from day one, and he has too. And now, because there's only truth, great, we can still be great friends. And that's beautiful. Good for you. Bravo. That's part of living in the creative realm, where I don't have to know exactly how this is going to end and then end it if I don't know if that's it or not. Just go with the flow. The thing is honor, love, and encouragement. Wes has heard this so much. I live my life in these 3 things. I've created a culture of love, honor, and encouragement. And if I will love people unconditionally, win-win. If I will encourage people and bring them into the courage that they were born for, Win win. And if I will honor whether or not they deserve honor, win win. What does that sound like? It sounds like a relationship with God. Not beautiful. And that's how we should be with everybody, right? Like, it's kind of a no brainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay. Good job, team. This was good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bit of a glory spa.
I know we're going late, but I just want to share something else.
Anybody
That,
can go if you need. Yeah, please share.
yeah. As I reflected over my life the past couple of years and, the decades in life or whatever, I realized certain things that I really desired and wanted. Like when I was 10, I really wanted to play basketball. And my mom didn't want me to do it because it involved her driving me to and from practices,
Sure.
which was a big deal with 5 kids and a 1-year-old. And, it was just a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but she did it. But then I loved basketball, but I stopped playing because there was two girls on the team that were sisters, and one was 2 years older than me, and she just was evil towards me. And I was like, you know what? I can't deal with this. I can't keep. So I told my mom I don't want to play basketball, and I like put it out of my heart. Like I don't want to play basketball. I just cut it out of my heart. And now reflecting on it, that was at 10. I played soccer. I played a lot of love soccer. Became the love of my life and played all over the place. But when I was in high school, I went to a high school that had a really good basketball team, an amazing coach, and I played. Now, I played as a soccer player playing basketball, but I got to play 3 years, 4 years of basketball, three state championships. It was amazing. And I realized now, I just realized, oh, God never took basketball away from me.
Hmm.
I had it. It
Cool.
was the best team I ever played on.
I love that. I
Yeah, so
really cool.
yeah, and I've seen that in other areas of my life too, where I was just freaking out because I wasn't getting what I wanted at that time.
Sure.
He gave it to me, and it was like, oh, I really did have that. I don't even need to be stressed about, like, yeah, yeah,
That's cool. Good story.
yeah. So
Great story. And I think as
yeah, like,
we take time to notice, we'll see those stories more and more. How we've been doing a lot of this all along.
hmm
But I realized, like, wow, I've known some of this feels new on so many levels, but so much of it I've just naturally done in the progression of love. We'll talk more about that next week, but
yeah, I'm excited about that. Your whole everything's encompassed in love.
every,
You don't use that word wherever you, yeah. And it's true because that's who God says we are. Now, I'm not saying that I feel that, but yeah, when you apply it, it's like nothing, yeah, nothing beats love.
no, ah,
Yeah, I just share another story like where I noticed that also is like my cousins moved to Florida when I was about 18 and we grew up around each other. Like they lived in Long Island, I lived upstate, but we'd see each other throughout the year. So, it was pretty sad for me um, for them to be away, but whatever, it was what it was. Well, about 25 years later, I got to start seeing them again, and I'm at my aunt's house in the city with my parents, and I'm finally getting a chance to really talk with them. But my dad's like, "Gotta go home, gotta leave, we gotta leave." And I'm like, we don't see our family that much. We really can't spend another couple hours. You
yeah,
know clock struck 7 and we have to go home right this okay, but it's my parents and old enough that I need to respect that and drove them home, but still upset me and I really felt like I've lost something.
mm,
But that was like 10, 15 years ago now, but since then I have got to have a lot of wonderful times with my cousins and go on vacations with them and spend time with them. And I was like, oh, I just because I didn't get to do it on that day, which was the first time I really saw them again after so many years,
yeah.
God still provided that for me. And
Oh,
that trauma that I felt that day that I was still feeling didn't need to be so, you know, trauma. it just didn't need to be trauma because God already provided. He
Cool.
already had a plan for the future, you know. So,
I love it. Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. And what is that doing? That's building trust. You realizing those and noticing those moments is just reminding you that, yeah, you can trust God. And you can trust.
Yeah. And we can trust we're on a river with Jesus and, he's not letting us miss anything.
That's right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it when you say that, like, we're not late, or I don't even know what things you say, but like, we're not late. We didn't miss anything. And
Oh,
I'm like, oh,
perfect.
it's
Perfect.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you. And I'm glad you're going to do another week. Woohoo.